Hi book besties, Srini here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about all the books I have read in February. So in Feb I have read 10 books in total. Based on that number, you might think that I have had a great reading month in Feb. But let's see if it is true. So the first one is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I have in fact finished the whole series. This series follows Stevie Bell, a 16-year-old who attends Ellingham Academy. So Ellingham Academy take exceptional students with unique skill sets. So Stevie believes herself to be a good detective. Stevie believes she can solve that mysterious crime that took place in Ellingham residence in 1937. Albert's wife, Iris, and daughter Alice get kidnapped, and police could not find more evidence of who's done it. And the only thing they could find was this riddle signed Truly Devious, and the case remained unresolved. Davy gets admission to Ellingham Academy on the basis of solving this mystery. So she's trying to gather clues and evidence and trying to solve this case. So Maureen Johnson gives us 3 books in the series. The first one is Truly Devious. The second one is Vanishing Star. And the third one is Hand on the Wall. So by the third book, Hand on the Wall is when the mystery unfolds. And this is a very interesting series, and I was thoroughly obsessed with this whole series because this gives Harry Potter and Sherlock Holmes vibes, and I could not put these books down. And let me tell you about Maureen Johnson's writing style. I have never read anything like this before. Writing style is so good. It was so witty. The humor is perfect. People compare her to Agatha Christie's style, and I'm not surprised. I have read one book of Agatha Christie's. Now I want to read all of the Maureen Johnson's and Agatha Christie books. Let me read to you my favorite quote from. There are so many quotes from the book, but let me read you my favorite because that explains the humor so well. It says, mostly, Stevie forgot she had a body, and when someone else noticed her body, it made her look down and go, huh, would you look at that? How long has it been there? This is the style Maureen Johnson writes, and it's so good. I was fully immersed in these stories, and this could be my favorite set of books I have read in February. So needless to say that this series was a 5-star for me. All 3 books were 5-star for me. The next is His Greatest Treasure by Hannah Cowan. In this we follow Oliver, a firefighter, and Avery, a florist, and also a single mom. Avery has moved countries when she was young with her parents and has now moved back to her native country and trying to get settled among the childhood friends and the friend circle she had before she left the country. I also liked that there was a found family aspect in this book. Avery is struggling to find that sense of belonging. So since she has moved countries, she doesn't know any of her childhood friends that well now. And when some of the friends see her, they don't even recognize her. I like the author has brought up some topics of how to build friendships when you did not grow up with these friends, like when you don't have history together, how hard it is to build friendships, like lasting friendships. So every struggles being friends with people she used to know when she was little, and she also struggles with social interactions. She always thinks that they will not remember her, that she's not significant enough to remember. So I liked some of the points that author has tried to bring up. This book went fine in the first half, but when I got to the second half, I immediately got the ick because I felt like this story was moving so fast in an unrealistic speed, and some of the spicy scenes gave me the biggest ick. I almost DNF'd it, and I did not like the second half of this book at all. This is the first book I have read by this author, and I don't think I'll continue with this series or I'll read any other books by the author because I don't think this style is for me. So his greatest treasure, I have rated this 2 stars, unfortunately. So the next one is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. So this is the first book I have read of Abby. In this we follow Christine and Josh. Christine is a business owner and Josh is a firefighter. Authors love firefighters, don't they? I know Abby Jimenez is a loved and popular author. Guys, I'm not sure if her books are for me, because you will get to know what I mean by the second book, because I have read 2 books of Abby. And there are so many things I didn't like about this book. Even though this book brings out topics like infertility, grief, important topics, I didn't think the author did justice to those topics. I felt like they were there for the sake of the story. I think they were written lightly. I don't know how else to put it. And also, there's this trope in this book I absolutely despise. If you have read The Friend Zone, you might know what I'm talking about. When that trope came to play, I did not want to finish the book. I was cringing inside constantly. And also, the main male character refers to the female main character as the cool girl, or she's such a cool girl, she might have been a popular girl back school. That type of a vibe. I detest that vibe, and maybe it's a personal thing for me. I don't like it, so that must have hindered my reading experience with this book. So yeah, I gave it 2 stars. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Before I tell you my rating of the book, I want to say that I'm really sorry if this is one of your favorite books. This is my opinion, and it does not mean that we can't have different opinions about books. This may be your favorite one. It was not fun for me to read. I'll tell you why. In this we follow Alexis and Daniel. So Alexis come from a wealthy family and is a ER doctor. but she's constantly being pressured by the family to become a surgeon because she comes from a family of surgeons, and they have a legacy, sort of a legacy attached to their name, and she feels like she's constantly under the spotlight, and her relationship with her family is not a great one. Daniel, he's the mayor of a small town, and he leads a very simple life. So guys, one thing I have noticed of Abby Jimenez books, that I don't really root for the main female character. I don't know why. Do you guys feel the same way? This is the second book I have read of Abby Jimenez. Again, I don't like the female character in this book. I didn't like Alexis at all because I didn't see a character redemption at the end. I couldn't convince myself that Alexis deserves Daniel. I simply couldn't. I think this is my opinion, and you don't have to take it on board. I think Daniel was obsessed with Alexis because he did not have that many options in the small town, because he was not greatly exposed to this society where you have many prospects, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Otherwise, I don't see a reason for Daniel to be obsessed over Alexis, because she does not have many good qualities in her. And in Abby Jimenez books, although she talks about a lot of important topics in this book, in particular emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, things like that, I don't think she has done these topics a justice. Maybe it's only me. So my rating for this book was 1 star. I'm really sorry if this is your favorite book. I just could not like this book. I did not DNF it because I wanted to see what happens at the end, how the redemption would go. But I was utterly disappointed. Next one is Beg, Borrow, Steal by Sarah Adams. I'm not going to talk much about this book because I have already done so much yapping in my previous video, because I gave this a 5 star. I've done a video where I give you my 5-star book recommendations of romance books. In that video, I could not shut up about this book, so I'm not going to go into detail. We follow Emily and Jack, who are second grade teachers teaching at the same school. They know each other for 10 years, but they believe themselves to be rivals, enemies. Loved this book. I love Sarah Adams' writing. It's so realistic. I feel like, even though of course it's fictional story, I feel like she writes human emotions so well that it feels real. So it's 5 stars. The next one, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Of course, I don't have to explain the premise of this book to you because I am late to the game. I have mixed feeling about this book because I did not like the first half of this book. It felt a bit bland and boring for me. After the second half, I was hooked and I loved the world building. And I was thoroughly immersed in the book until that a particular scene threw me off of the course. Can you guess what the scene is? Okay, without spoilers, I know you must have read this book. All of you who are watching this must have read this book and screaming at me saying, you don't have to hide the spoilers because we know already. But if, just in case, if we have not read this book, there is this scene of a party. A certain someone takes our female main character along to the party, and she's not really conscious in that party. So, when I read this scene, I was like, are you serious? 3 question marks. How is this real? 3 question marks. And I don't know. And when I finished the book, I don't think this is a spoiler. In the end, there was the author was hinting at us about this mating system that will be a prominent topic in the next book. And I did a little research on that, and I got to know this certain person would be the focus, sort of, in the next book. And I immediately thought, I'm not going to read it. I'm sorry. I know there are a lot of people, lot of my book besties would love this person, his manners, his way of talking. But I cannot get on board. I'm really sorry. I don't think I can have an unbiased impression, an opinion about that person if I am to read the next book. So sadly, I have decided I will not finish Akata. I know it's a big decision, I understand, but I just can't do it, guys. I cannot. So I have given this 3.5 stars because I like the story despite of some setback. Next one is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. In this, we follow Cassie, a teenager who is hired by FBI to solve cold cases because Cassie is good at reading people, who they call a natural. I don't really read a lot of YA books. There are exceptions like The Truly Devious. I don't really gravitate toward many YA stories. But I heard so many good things, good reviews about this series, so I thought I'll give it a go. I was even excited for this book. But can you guys tell that I did not have a good month in Feb? Even though I read 10 books, I did not have a good experience in February. Why I didn't enjoy this book? It was the writing style, I guess. It felt really juvenile and Wattpad-y like. I'm really sorry if this is one of your favorite books. I don't mean to hurt you, but maybe I'm way past my YA era, obviously. I'm not in that age bracket that I should be reading YA, of course. But, some books like Good Girl's Guide to Murder, it does not really feel like it's YA, even though it's in YA category. But this really felt like a YA book for me. So I'm surprised because a lot of people have recommended this book. I mean, the story is sort of okay, not exceptional in my opinion, but it's mostly the writing style. I feel like a lot of heavy topics were thrown at you in a very lightly manner. Grief and growing up in a very emotional, abusive environment. Topics like that are very lightly thrown at you, and I didn't like that. I understand it's a YA book. Maybe you cannot go deeper than that. But that is the reason I felt this was a bit Wattpaddy vibe. So safe to say, I'm not going to continue the series. But let me know, you guys, if you have completed the series, and if you think the other books are better than the first one in the series, let me know. I might give it a go. Rated this 3 stars. That's the best I could do. The last book is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Ali Hazelwood. What can I say? She's one of my favorite authors. Or should I say, she used to be one of my favorite authors? Because this is the second book I did not enjoy. Should I name this video the books I did not enjoy in February? Because I have read 10 books, but I only enjoyed 3 out of the 10. In this, we follow Scarlett and Lucas. This is, I believe, Ali Hazelwood's first sports romance book, and she has done a good job. Actually, I liked the story. I liked the premise of the story. It was done nicely. And what I did not like about this book was the spies, you guys. I did not like the spies. I didn't like her previous book, the one before Deep End. It's called Not in Love. I actually DNF'd it. I've never ever thought that I would DNF one of Ali Hazelwood's books. I was so sad because I don't know what happened to her spicy scenes. They're horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like this book. But without I'm not trying to bash this author because, as I said, I really, really love her writing. I love entering a world of STEM, and I love all the characters she writes. Usually, the spicy scenes in this book play a vital role to the story, and you can't just skim or ignore them because then you would lose half of the story, and I didn't really enjoy. I liked the cultural differences, the family dynamics, things like that in this book. There were good aspects, but this the spies really negates all the good things in the book, in my opinion. So yeah, I did not really enjoy. I have seen some reviews of the book saying that people saying they really, really enjoyed and they are obsessed with Lucas, the main male character. I could not relate. I really hope Ali comes out with a different type of a book next time. I would take anything from her if she did not include this category of spice, if you know what I mean. There's a special category of spice in this book. I cannot. So Deep End was a 3-star for me. So as you can see, I did not have a good reading month. I really hope it'll be better for me in March. Let me know how February was for you. Did you have any good reading experience? Did you have any 5-star rated books? Let me know. I really want your book recommendations, as you can clearly see. And that's it for today, guys. I'll see you soon with a new video. Bye for now.